Steph not through. Steph not
Steph
through by a
definitely not
long
through.
shot. I feel like he got a lot more than people think left in his tank. I think this team has more left in their tank than people think. I think the owners are committed to going into the luxury tax to try and pay for it to make it happen. So the book or the door is not closed on what them or Steph is going to add to his legacy. All right, man, that's a wrap, man, on the NBA Finals for 2022.
Straight up, great season. Shout out to the Warriors. Congratulations.
World champs. So, as we last left it, it was 3-2, and now as we know, the Warriors went ahead and closed it out last night. Black, what you thinking?
I'm proud of them Celtics, boy. I'm very proud of Lil J. I'm proud of what he accomplished this playoffs and his whole season as a whole. As I look back on it now, I'm very sad because I really thought they had a chance of really beating this team. I think just maturity kind of sunk in with them. I feel like they got away from what got them there as Boston. I feel like they stopped believing in each other, and that's what it kind of looked like this last game. Now the Warriors side, man, the closeout game was the best game as a whole team. I felt they played as a whole team. Everybody played good minutes. Everybody played positive minutes, and they look good doing it. So congratulations to the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. You know, extremely proud for Tatum, Ime, and Brown, and the whole Celtics team, and the season they had. They had a crazy playoff run, performed beyond what people definitely probably had predicted or thought they would. Tatum himself, first team All-NBA, had a great playoffs. Obviously, came up short and didn't perform the way he would have liked in the finals. But I think this is like, when you look at some of the greats, MJ struggled before he got to that land. Kobe, who young Jay, idolizes, he struggled. We saw that when we came to the league against Utah, shooting air balls and clutch moments, and then he just used it, came back to get better. I think, Jay gonna go this summer and he gonna get a lot better. He got something to focus on to get better and something to drive him. So I think he gonna come back better for it. But then Warriors, boy, we talked about it yesterday before the game. I said I want Boston to win, but I don't know. I say when you get a team like this that's been there that many times with that type of experience, and these dudes is. They know not to give a team life. They know not to let it get to that seventh game because they've been here before, you know what I'm saying? So, they played with that sense of urgency, man. Like you said, the whole team overall, everybody chipped in at different moments. But my man Draymond, I feel like his imprint was all over the game, just from his energy, his enthusiasm. The boy was all over the place, getting rebounds, pushing it up the court, forcing the issue, and getting them in transition. And just the way he played, he brought that tenacity, he brought that energy, he brought the nastiness. And then the one thing that I loved after the game when the series wrapped was when him and Grant Williams showed love and respect to each other, because they've been dogging each other, going at it, like talking crazy and really battling and competing. And it was a dope moment to see them show each other that respect and peace up and dap each other up after the hard competition, and show that it was just two dogs going at it, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, most definitely. When you're on that court, it's like fuck you. After it's all said and done,
Word. It's
like respect. At the end of it, we all had them battles where it's all left on the court, and it's a respect factor at the end. Like throughout this whole series, I felt Draymond respected them as a whole team, as a organization, as a coaching staff, and I feel like he showed it. But he had to get on the court and get gritty. Klay Thompson, man, to see what Klay Thompson went through and to get a championship, to come back and just be a part of it and give his team the spark that he was given. He's a defender. He was out there playing defense. He was out there doing a lot of the dirty work, coming off a knee injury, plus scoring. His energy last night was amazing. Jordan Poole, tremendous job all season. His energy was there. Andrew Wiggins, from coming from where he's come from, when a lot of cats really doubted him.
Right.
To have a solid game and to show that he's a solid player, he made the All-Star team this year. And he came up big throughout the playoffs. He played against dogs, from Luka to Tatum to them all. So tip my hat off to him too.
You know what was interesting to me that I tweeted it last night? How many different times did we see, whether it was Draymond or Gary Payton II, like they have obviously throughout the season, but in big moments throughout the playoffs and in big runs, you see them they give themselves up on wide open jump shots and wait for either a Klay or a Poole or a Steph, and like you see him drop it behind. Like I saw one play last night, Draymond set like 2 different screens for Steph in one play. Like he handed it off, boom. Then he turned back around, went and got him again. I was like, look at this, dog. Like the way they, you know what I'm saying, that type of giving yourself up and selflessness, like you and I obviously we know that they are better shooters than them, but we still know that it's dudes that still shoot that ball. Like, bro, I was wide open. What you mean? Like, that shows a different level, you know what I'm saying, of commitment and belief in their teammates. Like you said, how they believe in each other and all that. It's on a whole nother level.
That shows what the type of environment they organizations created, the type of environment they coaching staff created, type of environment that they leaders in Draymond, Klay, and Steph created. Like the way they play basketball is the way you want to play basketball. It's so unselfish, so much team oriented. Like did nobody think they was finna be here? For them to come together, the way they play, man, Gary Payton II, like Unc, we love Unc, his mom, everybody, the whole family, we love them to death. To see him just accomplish, come off a elbow injury, come back and right back where he left off. He didn't look shaking up. Like after that first layup, he got the break. I think that kind of scared him. As soon as he came back, he get a wide open layup, so he didn't get his feet. But after that, like defensive wise,
he was
like how his hands was in there, how he was resilient, he was rebounding, he was finishing, he was doing all the dirty work that you need a championship team to do. And man, I didn't think they had that many defenders, but looking at when Klay come back, how he defend with Andrew Wiggins, with Gary Payton, they got defenders too.
The thing about Klay is that you've had big knee injuries. Like I've had a back injury. Like Klay ain't even himself yet. Like you don't really become yourself till like a year out from those type of injuries. When especially who knows how long it takes when you had 2 back-to-back like he did. But like we know from being athletes that he not even his true self, like closer to what he can really be. So that's the scary part for that.
I'm so proud and happy of Klay, but Klay he's going to be Scottie Pippen for his career. Which that's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? But he's not going to really get the credit he really deserves and what he really brings to the table because of Draymond's bright personality and just how good Steph is. But he's really a key piece, and I think that's why Steph and Draymond always praise Klay so much, because he brings something to the table that a lot of cats that he's not going to get as much credit for because Steph is in the front runner of that team.
Nah, the real ones know, and that's what make their team special, the way that all of them connect and all of them appreciate the other ones. And the biggest thing is, like you saw, like even Draymond being injured when Klay first came back, he wanted to start that game, be part of the jump ball because they bond is bigger than that, and that's why that's going to always outweigh anything. And that's like, you know what I'm saying, Klay ain't missing no payments. He getting them big boy bags, and he breaking records too. I mean, it just is what it is. This is what I wanted to ask you, though, because the one thing that we kept talking about was the Boston's turnovers. Now, Golden State was playing some hell of a defense, but I felt like a lot of those turnovers was just careless turnovers, making, like young, careless turnover. What did you think about the whole turnover thing and how that turned out to be, like the game changer in the series for them?
To be real with you, I never seen a finals that guys turned the ball over the way they turned the ball over. I never seen that before in all the finals that I watched. And I think that's just from immaturity. You know what I'm saying? These guys got there. I thought they would have cleaned it up of what they went through to get there, to go through KD, Giannis, and Jimmy Butler. But when they got to the championship, this team is just built and equipped for it. One thing about Golden State, when they lost their first game, when they lost the third game, they never wavered from what they was on and what they believed in or what they accomplished.
Yeah.
Like from Boston to get them the game 1 and game 3, it looked like they really had a chance. But these guys just ran off 3 in a row on a team that didn't lose back-to-back games throughout the playoffs.
That's what was.
And the second half of the regular season.
So I just heard today, I heard Charles Barkley say that in his mind and in his opinion that Steph Curry now passes our guy, Isaiah Zeke Thomas, for the best small guard in history. Do you agree with that? What's your opinion on that?
I don't know. I'm just a little old school. I feel like Steph has accomplished a lot of things, and he definitely praised. He definitely somebody I respect very much. But to me, my opinion, to me, what Isaiah Thomas did in the era that he did it in, from the players and the teams that he had to beat to get a championship in the era where Detroit didn't pose to have one. You know, like Portland posed to have them championships, 76ers, like there's a lot of guys in front of them. And for Isaiah Thomas to lead that team to 2 championships in the era where he had to beat Magic and Larry Bird, all legends, like I might need one more from him. I might need one more for him to surpass Isaiah.
You want to know the beautiful part about that is that you just might get one more. Like that's why I won't even weigh in.
That's
on
why
it.
I said, because that might just solidify me. It was like, yeah, if he get 3, because Isaiah got 2. And I feel like 2 of them was definitely Steph. I feel like the other 2, no disrespect to them, but they was really super teamed up, and it definitely they can compete with Mike now. They compete with the legends, and they did a thing with KD and all that. But the 2 he got, I compare them to definitely to Isaiah Thomas's. But to me, just Isaiah Thomas's role, the era, what he had to go through. On my book, my opinion, no disrespect to nobody, I still got Isaiah Thomas above him, and if he give me one more, that'll solidify me.
I'm not gonna disrespect neither one of them. You know how I feel about Zeke, but Steph not through. Steph not through by a long shot. I feel like he got a lot more than people think left in his tank. I think this team has more left in their tank than people think. I think the owners are committed to going into the luxury tax to try and pay for it to make it happen. So I think that the book or the door is not closed on what them or Steph is going to add to his legacy. And obviously he's at the top of the list in the upper echelon or whatever. But I think I'm not going to comment on what I think he is until he completes it and finishes.
Yeah, I want to say this too, like to backtrack on what I just said. I don't want people to take into contact that I'm not saying Steph championships and real. Steph won 2 championships where the 2 that he won, the other one that he should have got the final MVP. There was 2 championships where didn't nobody think Golden State was finna win the championship on both of them. The first championship he won, didn't nobody think Golden State was finna go to the championship and beat LeBron James now. Like that didn't happen. And this one, where everybody kind of wrote them off and didn't think they was going to go all the way to the finals and do it. So I definitely really do respect them 2 championships, and them definitely was 2 hard championships to win. So I just want to state that.
So what about this? Since you the big Brady fan, and you always talking about how the Patriots is a dynasty and all of this, like, do they qualify as a dynasty right now?
No.
The word's not a dynasty? Why?
No. They're not a dynasty because they didn't win 3 in a row. Like, I always felt dynasties was like you ran off 3 in a row. That was always a dynasty for me. Like when Shaq and Kobe ran off 3 in a row, that was a dynasty. When Jordan did it twice, that was a dynasty. Like the Celtics back in the day, that was a dynasty. Like if you don't win 3 championships in a row, to me, that's not a dynasty. When him and KD won it, and that third one that would have made the dynasty. So nothing against them. I feel like, yes, they definitely won a championship, but to be like a dynasty, they had, out of all them teams, they had championships. They didn't had all different teams. We didn't watch the core of one team win 3 in a row.
I feel
and then
you.
we
Get
called
3
that
in
a
row.
dynasty. So no disrespect to them, but I don't think it's a dynasty. But I do think it's amazing.
Man, I would say they dynastic. Like, they went to 5 straight finals, and then Klay Thompson got hurt for 2 years. They missed it, and as soon as he came back, they back and won. Like, they got 4 chips as a core. Them guys, man. To me, that's dynastic. They when you look at the numbers and the statistics to go along with it, they reside with Timmy, Manu, and Tony, and you know what I'm saying, Bosh, LeBron, Wade. They up there with all of them, you know, KG, all of those records. That's where they sit.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they are. To me, they dynastic. I mean, I feel like they still got a chance.
Yeah.
I feel what you saying. They didn't get 3 in a row. I understand that.
So you agree, dynasty is 3 in a row?
No,
I feel like a dynasty is 3 in a row.
I feel like no. Listen, I feel like if you get 3 in a row, you're absolutely a dynasty. But I'm saying, like, to get 2 in a row, to get 4 as a core over that 4 in what 6-8 years, 8 years. That to me, that's you dynastic, bro. Like, you got a handful of rings and you still in your prime. Like, to me, you dynasty to me.
Mm-hmm. I feel that.
How dope is it for Steve Kerr? All Steve Kerr do is win championships.
Yeah.
I heard him say, you know, I'll do is hang around the best players and just win chips.
Steve Kerr is very blessed, but I think at the end of he might not get the credit he deserves either because his team, because the players and his team is so good. But he made a lot of adjustments. He did a lot of things. For a coach to give in on how they play and play the way they play, like, back in our day, them was the Don Nelson guys and the stuff in a league that they wasn't doing that. For him to really be freely on how they play, the shots they take, encourage them to be aggressive in the way they be aggressive. He might not get the credit that he's deserved, but he definitely blessed.
Oh no, that's a fact. I definitely feel like he's one of because, you know, just like when Phil came to the Bulls, it was like it wasn't no secret. We can't say whether it was about to happen, but we know it happened as soon as he got it to him. Same thing for when he got to the Lakers. So obviously it was something to that. And I feel like same thing with Steve Kerr is, you know, obviously Mark Jackson teed it up for him, but he could have came in and messed it up. Yeah. He didn't. You know what I'm saying? He didn't mess it up. He ran him off like he was supposed to. The table was set for him, and he, to his credit, he didn't mess it up, and he's developed a relationship and a bond that, you know, great coaches do. Like when he had to make those decisions to take Draymond in and out of the game. Yeah. If he doesn't have that relationship and that bond and the respect from Draymond, that could have went a whole different way.
It definitely could, because when a player got a bright personality like that and a coach sees that all the players will really kind of follow him more than they'll follow me, that sometimes that come with a conflict of interest. For him to let Draymond, not only because he's not letting nobody do nothing, but for him to allow Draymond to be himself and to understand that he needs this freedom to really be the heart of this team. I think that's definitely a player's coach, a coach that was a player, know how it is, and, you know what I'm saying, know what it takes to be a championship.
What do you see for Boston next year? Because, I mean, you know, this could have easily went the other way and they be crowned the champions and it's, you know, all of this positivity. So I don't want to make it seem like because they lost that they still shouldn't have a positive look coming into next year. They had a really young core. None of those guys ever played in the finals. They got young players, young pieces. Like, what do you think their outlook is? This, to me, like a lot of people said, this has been this many years with Jalen and Jayson. I feel like this is the first year with Ime at the helm, with Brad Stevens in the front office, and with them going in this direction. So I think they got a fresh outlook.
Looking back on it, and this is fresh off the championship, they definitely need some helps in some areas. They got to find themselves and just believe in themselves. Like, I feel like they got all the talent in the world that can match up with every team in the NBA. They can definitely compete in a series with every team in the NBA, and this series should show them. Because one of the things that I was kind of disappointed in by the championship series, I felt like what got them here, what got them there, they went away from it. You know, it started turning into more individual, where it looked like everybody who touched the ball turned the ball over.
Man.
And that's not what got them there. They believed in each other. They depended on each other. They believed in the shots and the selection that guys was taking and doing. And I just think the lights just got a little bit bright for them. But I think their biggest thing is just believing in each other in core, because that's what got them there.
Man, so what you see happening? This is a wrap on the last of the season. Who you see coming in early? Is it just? I mean, obviously you got the draft and free agency, but from what we know now with the team set up, who you looking at coming in the next year as like them people that's gonna be contenders?
I'm excited for the Clippers, bro. I'm a big
quietly they over there.
I'm a Clipper representative. I'm a Clipper. Not only I'm a client, I'm the president. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Clipper representative, but I'm real excited for the Clippers, man. Just off of, man, what Ty Lue did with them guys, not having both of his stars there. What PG started with and what he ended with, I'm excited for him. And to see Kawhi come back and see what they're going to do in L.A. I'm excited for Darvin Ham and Rasheed Wallace them over there.
Shout out to the OGs.
For Darvin Ham to even get an opportunity to coach for a historic franchise like that, man, it's a beautiful thing. And just to see Rasheed Wallace on the Lakers staff is just crazy to me.
I want to see the impact that he has on AD.
Yeah, I'm real excited.
I want to see that.
I'm excited for free agency.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what is going to go on. St. Louis representative, definitely. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with my guy Bradley Beal. You know,
had to get the St. Louis reference.
You know, represent.
Me too. I'm super hyped about the Clippers. You already know. I feel like they loaded up over there. I feel like they got starters that's coming off the bench that could be starting somewhere. So I'm excited. I just hope to good health and after that we could do what we got to do. But yeah, man, I'm excited for the Magic. See who they got the number 1 pick. See how they gonna have some guys being healthy back this year. See what they gonna be able to do. But definitely excited to see the Lakers get a chance to be fully healthy. I want to see all of the guys get back fully. I want to see Milwaukee with Middleton back. I want to see teams at full strength. It's gonna be intriguing to see what happens in Brooklyn with Kyrie, whether it's gonna be and how that all plays out with the extension, guarantees, and all of that stuff, and the noise and the whispers you hear over there, how that's going to impact what KD wants to do, whether Ben Simmons, how that plays out, you know what I'm saying? Like, then you look over in Philly, James Harden coming back after a full summer, get healthy and be back at it, and Joel Embiid getting fully healthy.
Yeah.
So, it was a lot of different injuries, and you know how that whole – the pandemic ran into a 3-year craze of the 3 seasons in a row. I feel like this is gonna be like the first summer where guys really get back to their normal schedule, where they get out. The season has ended, the regular time in June, and then they can be on their regular schedule as far as like rest, rehab, and working out, and getting the summer to really be in the gym where it's not, you ain't got to be quarantined. You can really go to the gym and compete and play against each other. So guys will come in a bit more sharper and things like that. So I think this is gonna be a great year, man. I think the young players are getting that much better. You got Memphis coming back. They got to be looking for blood, looking for Jamal Murray to be back playing with Denver and how they going to be. Then you look over in Utah and what's going to happen with Donovan Mitchell. Is he going to be there next year or not? And that whole situation with they got to get a new coach. Rudy Gobert could be gone and could be somewhere else. So, like you say, man, that's the best thing about the NBA. We didn't kind of made ourselves relevant the whole year round where we can hold the audience attention and stuff like that. So I'm definitely excited for everything.
It's one more thing I'm very, very excited for this upcoming this year. I'm very excited to see LeBron James become all-time leading scorer. And I feel like close to the end of the year, make sure he's healthy and he's putting his games in. But I just want to see that. That was one of them records that I didn't think would really be touched. I thought Kobe would have had a shot at it. But to see LeBron after his career, continuing his career, to see him accomplish that, I'm excited to see that this year.